Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here. Last week I made these belly band pages with two different ideas. So a side of the page belly band here, and they were made from book pages and decorated with digitals. And I just see on this one that I didn't quite get the glue down properly. So let's just fix that up while I'm seeing it. Otherwise I will forget. Come on, glue bottle. Don't do this to me. Just supposed to be a quick little fix up. There we go. Just needs a little bit of sweet talking. Right, there we go. Fixed up that. So that was my original idea, and then I springboarded and ended up with this double belly band using the similar arrangement, but just one on each side of the page. And the lovely Anja, hi sweetheart, suggested, what about doing this with envelopes? And I was like, what a good idea. So thank you for that suggestion. Now, envelopes are different shapes, they're different sizes, they have windows or not windows. So I've been having a very, very quick play around, so I haven't fully fledged this idea. But there are some things that I'll need to do differently because of the different characteristics of an envelope. So I'm going to work with a window envelope, and this will be the journal page. So the idea is that one envelope will be the base, the journal page itself. And I've just grabbed out a typical size journal page for me, which is A5, just so I can get it cut down to the right size to begin with. So grab a pencil, and let's actually, I might do this in half, might be easier. And I might go slightly shorter, or err on the shorter side rather than the taller. Just because I know this is my typical largest journal page size. And when I print off digitals and trim off the white, they are, half an inch smaller. So I'd rather something like this, sort of in between the two to bridge the gap. So just making it just a hair smaller than that diary page. Okay. So starting with a window envelope that is cut open on 3 sides, and this will be where the page gets sewn into the signature. Okay, I'm not sure whether I'm going to get any decorated because I've got a few options that we can take this particular project in. So building variations upon variations, really. Still with that belly band theme. And I do apologize, I'm sitting here wringing my hands because it's warm outside, but it's overcast and it's cold inside. But I'm refusing to light the fire, and it's only 8:30 in the morning, so the day hasn't really sort of got into the swing of it yet. I do have a nice hot cup of coffee here, which is good for warming my hands on as well. So I've also grabbed, I had a few of these, just the fronts, the window front of an envelope where I had used the back for something else, and I thought, well, can we do something with this? And yes, we can. Of course we can. So we can put this on dead center as a belly band and have it as these are narrower, not as wide. So if I put this in behind, kind of line it up with the spine. So this is going to stick out because this is a curved edge on the base envelope. And it's kind of going to be a little tab kind of situation, but still within the width of a normal journal page. So it's not going to stick out past the cover of your journal. And I thought that could be really fun. So I kind of need to make these up for an idea book because I don't have an idea book. I keep thinking about it, I keep talking about it, but I have never actually put together an idea book. And you know, as my YouTube journey continues, I'm feeling that like there's a lot of stuff I've forgotten. So Normally I would decorate this up first before gluing it together, but I want to get the idea down, and I can still, you know, work around. So I'm just going to glue down this, hopefully I'm on camera, slide it across a little bit, down this edge here. So I've kind of got it where I want it positioned. So I'm going to flip that over and glue that down. So I'm not going all the way to the spine, I'm leaving a bit of a gap. Right, so we can probably get rid of that now because I've demonstrated the size. Now on the back here, I thought we could have another belly band, or we could turn it into a pocket, and I think it would be fun difference to have it as a pocket. But before I do that, I'm going to take a thumb notch, just so I know, actually before even I do that, I want to reinforce it. So just grabbing a strip of paper, the belly band side I'm not as worried about because the whole piece of paper holds whatever you tuck into the belly band. Maybe I should think about that. I don't know, should I reinforce that side as well? Let's go ahead and do that, because why not? I've got this spare bit of paper, so let's do that first. I don't know, I've never thought about reinforcing a belly band. Don't quite know why. Maybe because it's generally layered up, and so will this. This will be covered in some sort of decorative paper. But while we're at it, we might as well use up this scrap. There we go, that's that one. Now with your window, you don't have to use a window envelope. You could use just a regular envelope, and you could use the window as whatever you put in the belly band slides down so you can see it. Or you could put a picture in behind it and just have it static. I'm just doing this as an idea, so I'm just leaving it blank for now. Obviously once it's all glued down, you haven't really got the option to then put a picture in very easily. It can be done, but it's not super easy. Now I am going to just trim this edge down a bit. Actually, I'm going to do it the sensible way so it's straight with my guillotine, just because it's a little bit ratty, a bit uneven, and I'm not sure I want it to be grungy, so we'll just trim it off, neaten it up like so. Right, so yes, that's the right way up. And this I'm going to put on as a pocket. Now you need to be careful, because if I glue it all the way across here, I'm going to close off a portion of the belly band, which I don't want to do. So a little bit of a tricky bit, but basically I'm gluing on this part of the envelope, and then this part, just so I get it in the right place and I'm not closing my belly band there. Oh, I didn't do down the side. What a dingbat. Dingbat. It must be a Monday morning. Oh, and I didn't do the thumb notch. Gosh, I'm a double dingbat. How's that for a Monday? Dingbat day. My goodness, I can still get in there though, I think. Let's, will this fit? Maybe not. Let's see. What about this one? Well, this one's probably even bigger, so no. Feels like I'm just going to break apart my seam. So let's use this smaller circle. Can I get that in there? Oops. there we go, just a small half circle because I was a dingbat. And I would ink that normally, I would ink it. So we have a pocket here, and it doesn't matter that it's open in this corner here, in this section, because there's enough here to hold whatever you put in. It's not gonna go anywhere unless you put a tiny little ticket, but then it's not going to be big enough. You'll lose it in the pocket anyway. And then here, this isn't really big enough to show it, we're going to have a nice belly band. Now, you might decide that that's too loose. I'm just looking at it now going, is that a bit loose? You can always put a bit of glue down here so that the belly band is basically the window width. And I might actually go ahead and do that. And I think with one of these bottles, I can get in there and add enough glue to secure it. But for now, I'm just going to show that as the idea. So here I would probably pop a picture in behind this window. I might leave this because this is writable. The blue I think is quite interesting. Maybe cover this with some washi tape or something, and maybe just snip that off, straighten it up a little bit, and maybe take this little point off as well. They don't have to match up because they don't, because we trimmed off the bottom of the envelope, so it's not symmetrical. And I am going to glue down this little strip here. I'm not going to tear it off because I think I would compromise the remaining bit of the envelope. So just going to glue it down. And yeah, I might put some decorative washi tape or something up there just to, you know, take away from that white strip. Then the belly band, I think I would also choose to put a static picture here. But either way, you know, it could be something on the belly band. Sorry, journal card or tag. This is not big enough, but, you know, so it shows when you slide it in. And I do think that is too loose. So I am going to, you don't have to glue it all the way, just like a bit at the top and bottom will be sufficient. Just to give it a bit more strength. And so whatever you put in the belly band doesn't fall straight through, because that's not really what we want, is it? Don't want things falling out your journal. Not very helpful. Okay, so that's just going to give it a little bit more hold. You could round these, make it like a tab top, tab side, and I probably will, but I've just put wet glue in there, so I'm not going to do it right now because I think my punch board won't like it. And then cover this with either decorative or writing, and same, well, this is writing space really. You could decorate it if you wanted and decorate the pocket and tuck something in there. So that's kind of the first idea I had. So a bit different to our last week. You know, these are all about the kind of triangle, and this is not triangle, this is oblong, rectangle. Right, so let's put that one aside, grab out another envelope, and I've got one here. It's only open at one end at the moment, so again, let's measure the size of it and take off the bottom. I think Snuggles is up in the ceiling space. I heard a mournful meow. Oh, and Puss this morning got himself locked in the laundry. I went in to wash my hands and I was like, why is the door so hard to push open? Because he was right behind it. He'd gone in there when I went to get meat out the freezer and I didn't realise he was there. And so he must have been locked in the laundry for 15-20 minutes. So I took pity on him when he came out and gave him some milk to drink. Right, now I'm going to open this up. And I like to do this just with a craft knife, running along that seam. It gets a fairly nice edge not perfect and sometimes goes a bit awry, but pretty good. Okay, now this one has the flap still attached, so this bit is still glued on, so we haven't got that curve happening. Well, we've got a curve, but it's not an open curve. I'm going to glue down this end here. Come on, glue. You will work. Yeah, there we go. Just needed a bit of encouragement, didn't you? Like most of us on a Monday morning. Bit of encouragement to get into things and stop being a dingbat. Right, and a little bit here. That's also a loose flap on top of that. So there's two loose flaps together there. Right, so now we've got our next base to work with. So a bit wider because it has got the flap intact. And I was thinking of using a different envelope. So like just a regular envelope, and it's got the triangular flap if you have one available. And that could be our belly band, very much like this, just a bit smaller. And then on the back of these ones, they had either a flap to attach things or a tuck. This one's got a tuck. On this one, I would have this as a flip out, so you could put something in the envelope and have, you know, decorated up, and either have writing space here or decorate that as well, or a combination of both. You don't have to go one or the other. You can add decoration and still leave writing space. So I thought that would be really cool. And our belly band is still going to be fairly, you know, fairly good width for something about that size, maybe up to 3 inches, maybe not. Close. You could possibly fit 3 inches. This is 2 1/8 inch, and it definitely could have something wider. So I think once this is glued here, you could almost get like a 3-inch wide tag in there, I think, depending how carefully you glue it. And you would need to glue down here, so that's going to make it narrower. So maybe 2 3/4 inches, 2 5/8 inches, something like that. So, you know, still a reasonable size to put a nice big tag in there. You know, tall tag, but narrow. So that's the other idea. You would treat this the same as we did the other one. So decorate it up, writing space, etc. Cover anything that you don't want showing. Maybe this wee logo. Maybe put a little tab or something on that would be quite fun. Oh, come out of there. Did not want to come out. These are my whale tails from Artsology. And I thought we'd just grab one like that. It's a Christmas looking one. So like this little logo here, put something like that over it. And because these are narrower than a journal page, then you've got a bit sticking out, but not sticking out too far. And that could be quite fun. But obviously put that on after you've decorated up the rest of it. So that is another idea. What else was I thinking? Shall we decorate this one up? I'm not sure if I had any other ideas or not. My brain has gone to dingbat land. If you didn't have an envelope with this type of flap, and this is a new envelope, it's not a used one, although I did get it from a junk shop. You know, some envelopes have this type of flap, don't they? They're not as big. So with that type, you could either turn this into a belly band, but you would lose that secret spot for tucking something else. So I probably wouldn't do that. I would still look at this flap as what we could do with it. Now, it could just be a tuck. which would be fine, but this is about belly bands. We're about making belly bands with extra features. So for this one, maybe we should look at this one and what we could do to turn it into a belly band. And I'm thinking the only way is to add more paper. Do we want to add, I think I've got another front of an envelope somewhere. Let's see if I can, did I have one here? See if I can find one. Here we go. Here's another front of a window envelope. Just wondering. That might work quite nicely. Do we want it round the other way? Let's trim this up because it's, you know, it's a bit jiggy-jaggy. And I'm thinking maybe like even Stevens on either side of the window. So I'm going to trim up this top edge because it's a bit jiggy-jaggy as well. Not everything's jiggy-jaggy on this, so I'm going to have to try and even everything up. So let's go up there. So I've got it on the 3/4 inch mark. So if I do 3/4 of an inch on the other side. I think roughly. No, that's not right. That's it there. Okay, and I'll take off that logo. Now, I don't know whether I've made it the right size for what I'm going to do or not. So I've basically just left the window. Do I want it on top or underneath? I mean, that's kind of fun as a flip out, don't you think? Like either put a picture in the window or just have this as writing space and the writing space, whatever the person writes, having showing through the window. I mean, that's kind of a cool effect as well. But that's not what I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to do belly bands. But I may as well show you the thoughts that are springing into my head, is that that would be cool. Just as a little flip out. I'm not sure how you would glue it though, because if the other side's a flip out, you can't have them both flipping out and still be attached to the page. So one of them has to be attached. That just makes sense. One has to be attached. I think maybe like that. And I'm thinking, do I want to trim these flaps down or leave them? I quite like that. It gives a little something. So I'm going to glue that on, and I'm going to just hold it in place because I like the placement, and add the glue just 1/2 at a time. Let's slide it off there. Hey Snuggles, were you not in the ceiling? Uh-oh, she's headed up to Kelly. There's going to be screaming, growling. Oi, Snuggles. Snuggles. Oi. Leave your sister alone, please. Oh, Kelly hasn't reacted yet. Most unusual. It's because I've got the curtain open. Normally it's closed, and that's what's attracted Snuggles. Oh, there we go. There's the low growl starting. Is this entertaining for you? Me relating what's going on with the cats? You be a good girl, Snuggles. Okay, I'll just let them be, see what happens. If you hear any loud noises, sudden noises, it's all gone to custard. Right, so that's going to glue on there. This is going to be a belly band, and I'm wondering, do I want to take that down a little bit? No, I'm not. I'm just going to leave it. Let's do some decorating. Are you being good, Snuggles? Just grabbing the paper off the chair that Snuggles is sitting on top of, watching her sister. Right, I thought I would use these papers from my hydrangea kit that was part of Patreon rewards recently. A couple of months ago now, maybe. Just trying to get them out the sleeve. Don't need that right now. I thought because these are quite neutral in terms of writable, being writable is what I mean, not actually neutral. Okay, and these are done in panels, so you, as a journal page, they've kind of got a border, if you see here, but you could also print them off at half size and turn them into journal cards. Super fun. Snuggles, you are making your sister uncomfortable. She's such a toad, is our Snuggles. She's a beautiful toad, but she's a toad. She just has to be all up in Kelly's business. And Kelly does not appreciate it at all. But if it's relatively peaceful, then I want to just give them the chance to start getting along a bit better. Right, how am I going to do this, people? Maybe this way. So give a bit of a gap there. Okay, now, window. If I put that right against, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do the window? I know. I think this is the same size window. Yes, it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sacrifice this envelope to be a template. So I'm going to lose, of course, if you've got different envelopes, they often have different size windows, so you'll need to check. But if you have several that are the similar or same size, then you can do this. This isn't really working, it's not wanting to peel up, so let's just want to get that window out. Have a tearing good time. I'm doing all sorts of things in this video I had not anticipated. And this is probably, this is the one I cut to size, so oh well. We'll just have to cut another one to the right size. Or I can just put something else in the aperture, you know, make a new window, make a new, like acetate or tracing paper or something, and still use the same envelope. Okay, so I'm going to line that up against the edge where I know it's in the right place. Like so. How am I going to do this? Oh my gosh, people, I'm all over the place. Okay, going to have to do this. Okay, line that up there. Line this up underneath. And you're going like, this is way too complicated. I'm never going to do this. Well, that's because I am just working it out as I go along, and I'm sure there's a much easier way to do this. Please do it the easier way. Oops, I just got to line it up height-wise as well. That's pretty close. Just need to bring it up a fraction. Right. Okay, what a mission this is. And this is my perfection. Whoops. I'm going all sorts of wonky here. This is my perfectionism on show, wanting to get it proper. You know, right proper love. Being real finicky. I'm sure that I am missing an obvious way to do this much easier. Right. But anyway, you get to see me muck around and make a meal out of this process while I talk about my cats and what's happening with them. I want to preserve the centre panel, or as much of it as possible, because, you know, it's a pretty piece, pretty scrap. Don't want to waste it. So I'm still going to have to work out the corners, how to cut out the corners, so that's going to be interesting. And I hope this fits properly. Right, get in with my little scissors, I think. Of course, the first one's always going to be the hardest. Here we go, because then you've got a bit more room to get in. And I've got glue on my thumb that's distracting me. Oops, come on. There we go. I should actually make a template out of cardboard for the window aperture, but I know that all our envelopes here, they're all different sizes. They're not standard. So you can make, like, have to make several templates, and I don't know if I can be bothered. Just to be, you know, perfectly honest there, I don't know if I can be bothered. Okay, we got that far. It wasn't too painful. Probably more painful for you to watch me fluffing around. Now I'm just going to take off that pencil line that's still showing. Right. So I didn't get it exactly in the right place, but it's good enough. Okay, right. I'm just going to go in here with tacky glue because I think it will be the easiest, and go around the edges. Oops, on the paper. See, I left too much of a gap at this end, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I can put washi tape or something down it if it's going to be a problem. Right, also do around the window. And a bit in between, just for good measure. Right. There we go. It's looking pretty good. I do love the delicate colours in this kit. Super pretty. Right, so now I can turn it over and I can trim it to the shape of the flap and the added piece of window envelope. So what I'm doing here is really I'm just exploring possibilities rather than giving you a tutorial on how to do this, because as you saw I made a complete and utter mission out of it. But it's just like what can happen when you play with some supplies and see what you can turn it into. And if your takeaway is to just start playing and seeing what you can create that's a little bit different or unexpected, then I would be happy with that. Good girl, Snuggles. Well, that was good. She's gone away and didn't, apart from sitting and looking at her sister, didn't bother her. So that is a win in my book. So now we've got this really fun window belly band. Where's my little too small journal card that I had, tag rather. So yeah, too small, but that's fun. That is fun. Now I can't get it out because it's too small. Here we go. I'm just thinking I might round those corners. Do I want to round the corners? I think I do. I don't know why. I just do. I think because there's, you know, some angles and bits and pieces going on. And to me, I'm just going to give a nice look. I don't know if it's practical for a belly band to have those rounded corners, but never mind. So I do want to ink around it. Oops, that's not, because that glue was wet. Didn't punch that nicely. I should have inked around the inside of that aperture, but oh well. It's okay. Okay, and let's do this as well. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this side of the envelope yet, but I might be inking it for no good reason. Might end up covering it, but I'm just kind of on a roll. I do have that white little bit down this side where I didn't measure or line it up properly on this side, so a bit of ink's just going to, I think, be sufficient to cover that. No big drama. And then this inside of the envelope. Okay, and just this inside as well. Bit awkward getting in there, but there we go. That's sufficient, I think. I'm going to grab another sip of my coffee. It's getting quite cold, actually. Yeah, it's lukewarm, I would describe the coffee. Okay, so that goes that way round. We have now not destroyed, but changed this envelope. It's no longer got our little window in there. So I think I'm just going to take another one and quickly, hopefully, which end's open, that end's open, trim it down to the size, because I think I don't, yeah, I'm just going to leave this one as it is for now. I might use it in something else, or I might turn it into a template. We shall see. It doesn't take too long to prepare the envelope. Knife at the ready. Now, I actually wondering, should I open it on the other side? You know, open it on this side as opposed to this side. because this one I opened on this side. That would put the window at the bottom, which I'm okay with. Then I'm going to open it this way, since we did the other one the other way. Variations again. Looking at something in a different direction that can spark new ideas, or just springboard. It's all about springboarding ideas. How many different ways can you do something? Usually a lot. Right. So on this one, we have the strip here at the bottom instead of the top. And again, just going to go and glue that down properly. Didn't get that corner. There we go. Okay, so this time we've got this way, and then this, so it's like double, oh, that's kind of fun, overlapping windows. But I would think I would still put a static picture here as opposed to something that will go in and out. Right, so what have we got here? We've got this curve here, which I'm not overly fond of. So I think I'm going to grab another piece of the digital. Do I want to cover the whole thing? It's kind of pretty as well. And do I want to actually cover the whole thing? No, I don't, because then I'm going to run into the same window problem. Okay, let's see where we want to tear this off. Should have torn that white off first, because I might have made it not wide enough. Oh well. Oops. Every flaming time I do it on camera, I make a hash out of it. When I do it off camera, generally it goes pretty well. But on camera is a totally different story. Okay, so I did make it too narrow, but that's okay. I'm okay with that, because I'll just leave a border of the envelope. Do I? Let's trim off this bottom white first, because I want to cover the strip here. So do I leave a border just on the sides? Yeah, I'll leave a border just on the sides. That's okay. It's going to be a bit of a mission. But going not too bad. Sometimes that is the easier way to do it. Just got a little bit there that didn't come off. Okay, so I'm going to glue that on. Just tacky glue for speed and for less mess. So it's going to decorate it. It will also provide writing space because it's light enough that it can easily be written on and not super heavy on detail or anything. Kind of put that border on the sides as even as I can. from up there. Okay, so this can be glued down. So I'm going to glue along this edge. And this edge, hopefully I'm on camera. Off to the side here. Should be, I think. Right, so that can go down there. So I've got different colours going on, but this one in the back ties in with this blue. And this, it's from the same kit, so even though they're different colours, I feel like they still work together. Now this side flips out. We have a place to put our whatever. Make sure that glue line sticks down there. So you could decorate this up, leave it as writing space. I think it looks really cool as writing space, but I might like to stencil it maybe. Shall we do that? May as well. So what stencil am I going to use? Oh, maybe this one, the teardrops. It's because it's the first one I saw when I opened my folder. This is from Delusions. Is it called Teardrop or called, yeah, Teardrops Small is the stencil. Now, do I want to stencil on that side? Possibly not, so let's think about that. I need a scrap bit of paper. Which you think I would have a lot of, wouldn't you? But whenever I look for a scrap bit of paper, I can never find a bit. Just want to get it to fit inside the envelope. Doesn't have to go in far, just a little bit, just so we're not stenciling on that piece. Okay, what colour? So we've got, that's not the other side. Oh, I better stencil the right way up actually. So let's think about this. So that is the right way up, cool. Teardrops always say blue to me. So shall we go blue? Maybe a nice pale blue. So let's go with tumbled glass. Just grabbing out a pad for my thingamajig. Don't think that's tumbled glass. I think there's something else, but it should be okay. It's blue. Or maybe it is tumbled glass. So it's going to be very subtle. Just a little bit of colour. So how was your weekend, my friends? I'm so rude, I haven't even asked you. Bearing in mind, of course, that this will air on Tuesday, so your weekends probably feels a very long time ago now. For me, I'm recording on Monday and it's early Monday morning, so for me it's like it was just yesterday. Yeah, just a lovely little subtle touch there to dress it up. Okay, so get rid of that and that. So that flips out for storage space. We have this. We could I like the idea of leaving it as writing space as well, but we could add some decoration. So I'm going to kind of fussy tear this out a little bit. It's too wide, so we'll have to lose something. Not being careful. Let's take off those black lines. Oops, that was not straight. Got curves happening that I didn't want curves there. Oh well. Okay, so it's still too big, so I would like it. Let's make a pencil mark. I want it actually more like that, I think. Let's go about there. And try and give a straight line. Guillotine to the rescue. Mind you, I can still cut crooked with guillotine. Absolutely can. Special talents in this sector of the woods. Just want to give it some ink. I keep pulling out my tools because they live in a glass to my right, and then just putting them back on my desk instead of away, and then suddenly I've got a whole pile of pencils and pens and scissors and stuff and bone folder, and it's just like, it's too crowded. I can't move and I can't find what I need because it's not where it's supposed to be. It's a really bad habit, but as far as habits go, I suppose it's not too bad. So we can still write around that, but it's got something going on. So I like that combination. I have no idea how long I've been filming. I hope I'm still within time. I should do a check, really. Fluffing around and trying to decide how to do something does take a lot of time. I suspect we're rapidly, if not reached time or over time, that we're rapidly approaching it. How are we doing? Oh yeah, we're almost at time for a video. I try not to go over an hour. Occasionally it creeps over by a few minutes because I chat too much. I get too wordy. And this is a lovely creamish sort of, or ivory envelope as well, so it's a little bit different to the white of the window envelope. So this could be writing space, could be decorated, could add a pocket, you know, whatever you would like to add. We've got our belly band here. This, got this logo. We can't put a tab on it because it's the inside of it. I mean, it's not super critical. It's just says about how this envelope is plastic free, recyclable and biodegradable. So it's not an offensive thing to leave there if one wants to leave it. It just depends what's on your envelope that you're using. This definitely needs to be covered because it's branded. So let's grab out another sheet of paper. Going through lots of my printables here. Okay. Just take off that border. I like the border, and if it worked with the size of the envelope, it'd be great, but it doesn't, so I'm just removing it for these projects. Don't feel you've got to leave the borders on if they don't suit you. You can trim them off. So I think because I've got that envelope that I took the window out of, and this is the exact same size envelope with same size windows from the same brand, I might as well utilize that little template. for this one, top and bottom, I need to leave the border on. Actually, I think I'll do the white bit at the bottom first, and I'm just going to trim it. Oh, sorry about that, clang. I do it with scissors. Okay, and I'm going to trim that off. You know what? Make my life easier. I'm going to tear this envelope in half so I'm not trying to work with the flap. I'll use it for something else, somewhere else. Right, so our window is where? It's down there. So let's line it up. There. Okay, so that's in the right place. Now we'll line up I need to do it from the other side. I need to do it from this side, so I'm holding on to. This is very complicated and I'm running out of time, so yeah, see, no, it still doesn't work because I'm still trying to hold it where I need to slide the paper under. So that's very annoying. Okay. That's where collage is definitely way easier because you don't have to worry about it. Okay, now how am I going to get that lined up then? Because it's not in the same, hasn't got the same depth here. Okay, I'm going to collage it because this is just taking too much time and hurting my brain, and it's probably hurting your brain too. And I would say fair enough. Right, let's do it this way instead. That's the downside to window envelopes, is kind of working around that envelope can be troublesome, annoying. I'm sure there's a much easier way than the way I was trying to, but never mind. So now I don't really want to use all the same piece. Use the other half of it. And I might leave that border on this time since I'm collaging and not just putting a flat bit of paper. Sorry, I've gone quiet with the realization that I'm probably out of time by now. Okay, what I might do is just pause the video to save a few minutes while I collage this up, and then I'll bring you back and show you. Hang on a tick. And it's done, or done enough to call this a video. So here's what I ended up with. I collaged up the front and just left it as writing space. You could add labels or a focal image or whatever. I might not. So this sits around the signature. So this signature will be sewn down here. This, where the little recyclable logo was, I just put a strip of the digital I was using and one of the fussy cuts from this little mini kit. And then just this is sitting in just to give you an idea. So on the other side we have our belly band down through here. And again, you could decorate that up with whatever ephemera you would like. Then on the back here, we have our little flip out envelope. So space to tuck some writing paper or a journal card or something. And then the seam of the envelope where the flap was glued down, I just thought I'd cover it over. So I've still got a seam down here, but I just thought I would cover this with another strip of paper and just to tie it all together so it's all kind of in the same vein, same colours, and all complements each other. So that's that one that we did, and did basically start finish with the belly band. And then this is the first one which we haven't decorated. So again, sewn into the signature down here. We've got the window there, and then we've got this little mid belly band with a tab, which you can put little tab and obviously decorate it up, etc. So there we go. I hope that's was what you were kind of thinking of, Anja, that it helped you with how to use envelopes in that belly band way with the wraparound flaps and tucks and pockets and whatever you want to turn it into on the other side, really. Thanks so much for everybody for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. Take care, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Maybe I'll see you then. Bye for now.